Hey, what's up guys, Joseph here for my top 10 shocking Walking Dead comic deaths. Potential spoilers for the show because some of these I can't see them going to anybody else. Number 10. Now, Dale in the show, I didn't like Dale. He wasn't a bad character per se, but compared to the comic counterpart, he wasn't great. His comic death was the version of Bob's in the show, with the cannibals' tainted meat. Number 9. Spencer is Deanna's son in the show. His death is what I refer to as Negan's guts kill in the Walking Dead Season 7 premiere review. That's the death I was referring to, because I can't see that going to anybody else, really, as of right now, anyways. Number 8. Number 8 is, it's one of the 4 cheats, I guess, I got on the list, is on Rachel and Susie. Now, Rachel and Susie, nobody that only follows the show knows who they are. Rachel and Susie are basically the youngest siblings of the Green family. Rachel and Susie were like, I think 10, 11, somewhere around there. Maybe a little younger. They died at the prison where they were murdered by one of the prisoners. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll find out during the editing process and I'll write his name. That's who killed Rachel and Susie. Number 7. Tyrese is another character that The Walking Dead didn't really do a good job with. Herschel took his death in the show. Got beheaded by the governor. He was a big enough character to make an impact with that death at the prison. Number 6. Another one of those cheats, and that being Rosita and King Ezekiel. Now, in the comics, 2 years have passed since the end of the all-out war. There's a new threat that comes up, and they're called the Whisperers. They're basically the next bad after Negan is taken care of. But Rosita and Ezekiel are killed for kind of like a warning to Rick and company. So they kill Rosita and Ezekiel, put their heads on a spike as a border from the rest of the world around the Whisperers neighborhood. That's basically how they die. I don't know if they're going to do the same characters or not. There's a lot more than Rosita and Ezekiel, but those are the big 2 deaths. Number 5. Abraham didn't die the exact same way as the show killed him off. Denise took his death. The arrow through the eye. His death was literally turn a page. One page he's walking and talking with Eugene. The next page you turn it, there it is. Abraham, arrow through the eye, still talking. I don't remember exactly what he was. I want to say he was talking about Rosita. That's the main reason why it was shocking, was because it was literally turn a page, boom. Number 4. Another cheat. Ben and Billy are 2 other characters like Rachel and Susie that weren't in the show at all. I want to say one of them was. I think it was either Ben or Billy was in one episode, but he went away. He was in one of the episodes in season 3. I don't remember exactly which one. But Ben and Billy in the comic was the Lizzie and Mika. Ben and Billy was the comic, Lizzie and Mika was the show. And if you don't remember, Lizzie and Mika was the 2 sisters that Lizzie killed Mika. Ben and Billy was the 2 brothers in the comics that Ben killed Billy, I believe, and then Carl kills Ben. Number 3. The last cheat of the list, and that's Laurie and Judith. In the comics, Laurie does give birth to Judith and lives through it. During the prison attack is when they die. The governor commands one of his soldiers to shoot Laurie because she's retreating. The soldier does, and the bullet goes through Laurie and into Judith because Laurie is holding her running away. Number 2. Again, this this and Spencer's death, I can't see going to anybody else. But number 2 is Alpha. Alpha is the lead of the Whisperers, who I was talking about earlier in the Rosita and Ezekiel death. They really are just a group of people. They use zombie skin to blend in with the other zombies. That's basically how they live. The reason Alpha's death was so shocking was because Alpha's death was the reason of the Whisperers' war. And I don't know. In the comics, they teased Negan and Alpha romance, but then the next page, Negan kills Alpha, and then the next month when the next issue came out, Negan showed Rick that he killed Alpha. But that basically turns Negan into a good guy, at least for now. The war is still going on as I speak. We'll see if he ends up becoming a good guy. He's kind of like an anti-hero right now, because some people trust him, some people don't. I don't know. I could see Robert Kirkman going either way with Negan, but we'll see. Number 1. It's pretty much self-explanatory. You guys saw it, Glenn. I have no explanation for Glenn, because now that I can actually say that you guys have seen it too, you know why it's shocking. You know how shocking it was. The brutality, the gore, the eyeball coming out of the socket, the fact that one of the original characters have died after, in the comics, 100 issues, in the show 6 seasons. That's pretty much self-explanatory now that it's actually been realized on TV, which I thought that it would happen because it had to propel Maggie, especially Maggie, into a badass and a leader and a better character than she already was. Yeah, Glenn's number 1. Some honorable mentions, I have 3 of them. The first one is Carol. Now, Carol is a very, 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 very different character in the comics. Just to put it in perspective, she wanted a 3-way marriage with Rick and Laurie. It really started with her dating Tyrese in the comics, and Tyrese cheating on Carol with Michonne. And since that point, that's when she started going crazy, because Sophia is still alive in the comics. That part was completely on the show. That's one of the reasons why it was so shocking to people. And I hadn't read the comics at that point, so I didn't really know what to expect. But Carol was a very different person in the comics. And the second honorable mention is a death that is yet to come. Is going to happen at some point during All Out War. It's not going to be the same character, because the character that was with this death in the show is already dead, and that being Denise. Denise died during All Out War, and she didn't do any fighting. She wasn't like on the battlefield fighting, but Denise dies basically with Negan kills Holly. Holly was Abraham's girlfriend that he left Rosita for. Holly is killed and turned into a zombie. Negan puts a hood over her, and they go to return Holly to Rick and Company. And Denise goes up to her, tries to see if she's alright by pulling up the hood and talking to her, and Denise gets bit. That's how Denise dies in the show, or a comic. I don't know who's going to get that death in the show. I don't even really know who to guess. The third honorable mention is Shiva is the tiger that King Ezekiel has, and she basically sacrifices herself to save Ezekiel. That's how she dies in the comics, whether she dies or not in the show like that, or whether she dies at all in the show. I'm pretty sure some point in time she will, but we'll see. But we'll see what happens with the rest of the season. It should be good. I can't really see them getting All Out War. Maybe a little bit at the end of the season, but not a whole lot. I can see All Out War being all season 8, because that All Out War is a long enough storyline to last a whole season. So much going on, so much into it, so many characters, so much action. As for the list, that's it. Morgan, another one is Morgan, I guess. Morgan died in the similar way that Deanna died in the show. Yeah, that's it for this video. That's in my list. What did you guys think? What's your list? Comment down below, let me know. And as always, like me on Facebook at JMash97. Follow me on Twitter at JMash97. Links in the description below. Mash out.